Hey there, everybody! Welcome to Fresh Out the Box. Talks about City of Mist, a game from Son of Oak Studios. I am the board game viewer and game master extraordinaire, Jahan.
I am the co-host of Fresh Out the Box. It's me, Casualty CDG. And Jahan, I am happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It is my first time as a guest on Fresh Out the Box.
We're glad to have you here at Fresh Out the Box. You join a list of incredible guests that we've had, like Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln was here or he decided to free the slaves. And we think that maybe him being on our show influenced his decision. We don't have any proof.
That's what I get for saying Abraham Lincoln.
He's a great president, and we're influential people, so
It wasn't
what can I say?
actually him, Gary. It was a possessed wax replica.
Oh. Oh, that's right. The real Abraham Lincoln died a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that tracks with that couldn't have really been him.
It was the guy who played him in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Did you know that I was in New Orleans when they were filming that, the first one?
I think I did know that. There's only one.
Oh, I'm actually surprised about that. It was kind of a cult hit.
It was terrible.
Well, yeah, but it's like it's one of those things that everyone's heard of. It's kind of a secret cult classic. That doesn't mean that it's good.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really bad.
What are we doing?
I kind of want to talk about this movie some more, but we can move on. We'll talk about it on the podcast. So I guess our homework.
No.
Let's go watch that movie
Nope.
again, and then me, you, and Drew.
Nope. No, sir.
You won't even do it as a prank on Drew. All right, let's talk about City of Mist. Ordinary people,
Okay.
legendary
I wanna do
powers. City
That's
of Mist
not true.
is super
You
dope.
need to stop. That tagline was wrong already.
Yeah, kind of, because you are living legends.
Yeah, you're not ordinary.
Living as mundane people.
Legendary people, extraordinary powers.
Yes. So this is an introduction from the creator, Amit Moshe, friend of the show.
Whoa! Shout out to Amit Moshe. That's my dude.
That's my dude. Myths and legends have always been an integral part of human culture since the dawn of mankind. We have told stories to relate universal truths and to understand our world. Legends appeal to a deep place inside us, a part of us that understands not through analysis but through intuition. They convey a message, a teaching beyond mere knowledge. While they may seem simplistic, listening closer could reveal that they tell us the secrets of the universe, about the cosmos, the forces that operate within its theater, and our place in it. They awaken a sleeping quality in us, calling us to ponder, to feel, to ask questions. Isn't that nice?
That is nice. So what I would say, what is City of Mist? You're playing a half of a regular person and half of a legendary character, which is sort of what that introduction was trying to break it down to. Any legendary character. This could be anything from Hercules to Jack Frost, Santa Claus to Bruce Willis from Die Hard.
I do believe one of the pre-generated characters is the concept of evolution.
Yes, that's right. I played the concept of evolution when we played. So there's the Chinese god of fire and things like that. You can go anywhere with this game. You can go as completely descriptive a god background, legend background story that you want, or you can go as loose as you want. I told Jahan that I might just be the legend of the excremental, and I might have all of the poo-poo powers. And while it's fun to joke about that, that would be a horrible campaign to be the poop character.
Mm-hmm. Like Aquafina in The Boys Presents Diabolical.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she was the poop character.
She was. It was fun. They talk about the pronoun uses, so, it's in here. Keep that in mind. Don't be a jerk, I guess, is the gist of that.
Yeah, don't be a jerk at your table. The Tabletop role playing is collaborative storytelling, and everyone should be having fun. No one should be being a jerk at the table. That especially goes for the game master, who should, one, not be a jerk, and two, you have to make sure no one else is being a jerk as well.
Yeah, exactly. Setting up. The first thing you'll do is describe your characters and a crew and create the setting for your series. Your characters are all what are called rifts. This is what your character is. You're called a rift. They have their ordinary lives and the legend growing inside them, and many questions. So they all investigate in some way, even if they're not if it's not their profession. You create your character by naming 4 themes that are central to his or her story. A theme can be an aspect of your character's ordinary life, like an occupation or a personality profile, or an aspect of your abilities related to her mythos, like Cupid's ability to make people fall in love with each other. You then use these questionnaires called theme books to flesh out each theme and choose tags. Tags are short descriptions of specific abilities, qualities, resources, and objects your character possesses, such as burly, sawed-off shotgun, or prince's charm. So yeah, you could have the sawed-off shotgun tag.
And the way that those tags are used is the system of this game is a 2d6 system plus your tags. So what I would you can't use your tag on attack and defense. So if I had used that sawed-off shotgun tag that Jahan had said, I would roll 2d6, claim to use my sawed-off tag, and add +1 to that. And the game is pretty much that simple in a nutshell.
Pretty much.
We'll get into the actions and the backgrounds and skills and all that. But as a narrative game, that's the basics. Is you're rolling 2d6 and you're adding some of your little bonuses there.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse setting, so it's more thematic, less rules heavy. But this game does have a pretty good rule set. One of the better ones I've seen in Powered by the Apocalypse. But yeah, so these tags not only describe your character, but also powers or weakens your actions in the game, as explained below. We can skip some of this. Where should we pick up, Gary?
There are a lot of cool comics and stuff throughout the book too, which is it's a shame to skip over it, but there's lore and comic books with beautiful art just blasted all throughout this. What is the part that I liked? I saw like a page that sort of had everything jammed into one in a nice, concise spot, and then it starts to break it down more and more detailed.
Here's an important part: moves. This game has moves. There are 8 core moves. So the main way in which the rules kick in is called moves. Moves are phrased like conditions. When you do A, then B happens. There are different kinds of moves in the game, but most often you will use the 8 core moves, which are change the game, convince, face danger, go toe-to-toe, hit with all you've got, investigate, sneak around, and take the risk. For example, take the risk. When you perform a daring, risky, or outright stupid feat, roll plus power. On a 10 plus, you do it somehow. On a 7 and 9, things get messy. The MC will offer you a hard bargain or an ugly choice. So all of these have different ways that the roles come together for you, and all of them have different target numbers and downsides, I guess. Like picking one, it picks your reward or your failure. So yeah.
So I would like to direct your attention to page 44. This is the one I was looking for a moment ago. This is your session 0, and then followed by the entire character creation page. So this is a lot of the meat and potatoes of how you would get started playing City of Mist, which is, honestly, if I'm looking for this video, this is what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
The exposition session. So your step 1 is your series concept. Your characters already know each other, and you already work together. And then you'll decide who you are as a crew. Are you casual detectives, company men, conspiracy busters, dabblers in the mist, survivors of an event, a gang, investigative masked vigilantes, modern gods, an order, or professionals or rifts for hire? After that, you'll decide what your setting is and what your city's like. Whether you want to do a true noir of the 1930s or a neon noir set in the 1980s or even something more modern day. Generic comic book style places, an existing city, which Jahan and I have talked about doing Houston for a long time since we're both from there. Um, a tapestry of realities where it's all mixed. You could even do a mythical mist or a more realistic mist for your setting. And that's something that you and your other players will decide, so you really all get the same experience from the game that you're looking for.
Yeah, it's important.
Step
A lot of people don't, I guess, don't realize how important it is to actually discuss the game that you're going to be playing with your players. Like, you don't want it to all be a surprise. You want to make sure people are on board for what you have in mind. You don't necessarily have to give things away, but definitely tell them, like what the setting is. Give them an idea, so they're not going into it blind, and so that there is like informed consent going on with the whole thing.
It's nice to know the tone too,
Yeah.
because should I make my character a little more vulnerable because it's more of a gritty tone? Or, should I make my guy more on the side of invincible because we're playing something that's just truly Heroes Stomp Fest? So you want to make sure that everyone's playing the same game so some characters don't come out overpowered. Also, in the tone of violence, you want to make sure you're playing the same game at your table. Not everybody wants to play realistic gore.
Very
Um,
true.
After you do the series concept, you move into character creation, which we'll actually talk about after this because it's its own entire page. After character creation, you'll do crew creation. So this is similar to above, but you're going to work on your shared themes and your shared resources. You actually get a crew theme book, much the same way you get a character theme book, and your crew has powers that you can use during the sessions. Each players will write down the names of all the other crew members. On your turn, you choose a random crew relationship option from a theme book and read it out loud. And you choose whether to use this option and with which teammate. If the crewmate accepts, you guys work out the details. And so basically, you just continue doing this and you gain help or hurt points for your team at the beginning. It's just a way to help bake in some character growth at creation.
Yeah, some already existing relationships are nice to have so that you guys can kind of riff off each other.
When we read the Dune book, I think one of my favorite things was a lot of the baked in stuff in the character creation that really made you feel like part of the world. And to me, this kind of thing harkens back to that. Your character was not born yesterday. You've been on a team with these people, so you didn't meet yesterday. Maybe you had bad blood last week and you bumped into them and they spilled their coffee all over themselves, or maybe it was something way better or way worse than that. I think that kind of thing is exciting.
Yeah, it helps to move past the, oh, what is your name? Nice to meet you. Like, that's not fun. That's not fun. I've been playing games for like 20 years. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, let's get to it.
I like the way we handled it in Icons when Aaron's character was introduced. She was just like, "I'm here," and we're like, "All right, cool. Help us fight the bad guys." Like that was it. We didn't ask any questions. There was
Well,
no time. Yeah, we didn't. Like you said, it's not the most interesting thing to stop and ask every detail about a person. Just pick up the narrative and move on.
yeah.
And of course, if your character has some secrets, that's completely different, right? That's just good storytelling.
Yeah.
After crew creation, we're going to play a day in the life. So you play a short, casual setting to tie everything together and to just help everybody get the details and the knots tied. Um, the MC, which that would be you, Jahan, starts by picking out a time of the day and asking, where are your characters and what are you doing in your normal daily lives? And then we all answer as many interesting questions as we can. We try to avoid any loose ends. And then we familiarize ourselves with the rules in Chapter 3, which is, I already said that you just roll a couple of bones and then add some plus ones. Pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not too difficult.
That'll take us to the character creation page, Jahan. Do you want to jump into this, or do you want me to start dissecting this?
Page 54?
Page 45.
Page 45?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Character creation?
That's the one.
It's on page 54.
Well, there's a slimmed down version here on
Uh,
45. It's nice and slim.
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just
You
the
see,
next page up.
it's got all the mythos and all the logos
Yeah,
slammed into one.
this is definitely probably better.
Mm-hmm.
So, because as you can see, it's having you jump from like there's page 60 to like 74. It goes on and on. Character creation can be kind of involved, but a lot of it you don't have to look at every page for sure. When you're looking at this, don't get overwhelmed. It is
That's
like
true.
some stuff just doesn't pertain to you. Like you're not if you're not taking like a relic power, you don't have to look at the relics. But you know,
So there are questionnaires like for your background
uh,
whenever you pick your different things. So exactly to Jahan's point, you don't have to go look at every single questionnaire in the book. You only have to fill out your own, and you don't have to fill out all. I think 10 questions. I think you only have to do 3. So there are loads and loads of questions and options in this book that you do not need as a first-time player. Just because you're going to come back again and again to this book, and you're going to see them later. And that's basically why, right? If you only need 3 questions and there's 10, then this book is 3 times bigger than it, quote, needs to be because it gives you this fun questionnaire.
yeah,
I enjoy the questionnaire as part of the character building process. This is
it
the first
helps.
time I've really seen it and gotten into it.
It helps because you know not everybody has like the idea all ready to go. You know.
Well, even as a person who's played a ton of role playing games, if you have an idea and it's fully formed and ready to go, chances are you could still use a few of these questions to just seal some gaps in, to just patch in some putty and get some character growth out of that.
Yeah, definitely true.
It really is a way to help you, not a way to hinder you.
Yeah, and like with these things, like Warhammer has a really good guided creation process where like you can roll, but it lets you choose if you want to keep it or not. If you do, you get bonuses. Like this is very much the same. Like you can do this questionnaire, but you can still tweak things if you don't like what you got. You know, which I like. So choose your mythos. The legend awakened within your character. It can be a person, a being, an item, or a location. From any story, mythology, legend, folklore, fairy tale, literary work, urban legend, religious tale, concept, or real world event. You could be the Jersey Devil. You could be the Golden Compass. You could
Robin
be
Hood.
You could be Robin Hood. I had a really good one. Oh yeah, so like when it says location, I don't know if you've seen Spirited Away, but that Haku guy is a river. Like that's what he is. He's a river. So like the idea is that these things can be anthropomorphized and like walk around exists like very deeply in a lot of mythologies already. So like it's not as weird as it sounds. Take whatever you want. You know, you could be the like I said, Jersey Devil. I'm gonna be the Jersey Devil. That's what I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna do Robin Hood.
I'm a chupacabra. That'd be fun.
Oh man, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
You, you would be. You're straight up a goat sucker, so I'm not surprised.
Goat sucker right here. Yep.
I've always said that about you.
Yeah, whatever. Choose your logos. Your character's everyday persona and life. It can be any modern day walk of life. Develop your concept by speculating about why did this mythos manifest through your character? What is your character's secret pain?
Our logos is a cardboard box with tentacles bursting out of it.
No. That's a logo.
Yeah, that's our logos.
That is-
We have logos on a bunch of different
Logos.
websites.
Logos.
Yeah, bunch of different logos.
Is your human self.
Oh, yeah, that explains why I don't know about that.
So after this painful process, you choose a theme. Well, you choose themes. Your character has 4 themes, with at least 1 mythos theme and 1 logos theme. So you have to have 1 and 1 as a base. The other 2 can be whatever.
At Christmas time, the Coca-Cola logos theme is polar bears.
That's fair. It's fair. Very, very scary. Mythos themes represent legendary powers. Logos themes represent mundane abilities, qualities, resources, and allies. I believe I was the reincarnation of a Shaolin god that lived with his mom when we played. And one of my Logos abilities was the ability to call my mom for a ride. So, like, it can be anything. I want you guys to really understand it can be anything. Like, it's pretty crazy.
I'm going to be Coca-Cola, and my mythos power is that I can summon Santa Claus and the bears.
Yep. You can do that. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely a thing that you can do. Santa Claus is a good pick.
Yeah, that's actually a really fun
It's
one.
a good pick. So choose.
Would you do it like Tim Allen's the Santa Claus, where you like literally became Santa Claus, or would you just be a guy with like low key the powers of Santa? How would you play it?
I mean, I imagine I would work at a Toys R Us or something, and like I'm depressed because it's going out of business.
But you'd be like a regular guy with the powers of Santa.
Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't be like becoming Santa Claus rapidly overnight in the mirror.
I think that that's part of this. I think that that is something that happens to everyone a little bit, at least. But I think
so. You think it gets there at some point, maybe?
yeah. So I mean,
Nice.
so that kind of gets into this. So you're going to choose your initial level of awareness, right? So legendary. This is when you're like already kind of Santa Claus. You would have 3 mythos themes and a logos theme, right? Borderliner, you got 2 and 2. And then touched means like you barely are aware that you're Santa at all. You're like, I like kids. I feel like I should give them toys. And so you have 1 mythos themes and 3 logos themes.
You're just a toy maker, right?
Yeah.
And that's it for now.
For now, with like a touch of magic. So
Yeah.
mythos themes are adaptation, bastion, divination, expression, mobility, relic, subversion. These can go deep, man. These can go deep. These can be anything. Relic. I think we did Batman last time. Like his gadgets could be considered relics. You know, the spear of destiny that pierced Christ's side could be a relic if you're a Roman legionnaire or something. I don't know.
The other things also, like adaptation, bastion, and divination, they're not quite as closed in as those make it sound. Adaptation is a versatility build to make you good at everything, and bastion is a defense build to make you be able to take damage. So we even talked about, Batman being an adaptation build, being versatile, and defense. You got tough Batman in his big mech suit. Divination is an information build, not necessarily seeing the future, but knowing things. And Detective Batman surely knows things. So,
yeah, it can be. It can
all of
be
these
that
are
kind of
as
thing.
open as you want them to be, and then you're answering a questionnaire that goes along with that, and you're not answering the whole thing. So they're as open as you want them to be, and then you pick the questions that particularly pertain to your idea. So it's very open, the way that this is built. And again, one of the reasons this book is so large is right here we go from page 82, where the mythos starts, and you'll go all the way to page 134 when you're done choosing your logos. So there are, what is that, over like 50, 70 pages or so of questionnaires in here for you to look at, fill out, and round out your character.
Yeah, there's a lot of pages. And you don't have to look at all of them, so you don't have to worry. But yeah, so the logos themes are going to be defining event, defining relationships, mission, personality, possessions, routine, training. So, defining event maybe like you want a triathlon. I don't know. Or, and that would mean like, hey, like I want to use my triathlon ability to run away. Give me a +1. Like it's that simple. Defining
Or
relationship.
Loki came down and handed you Thor's hammer, and now you're Thor guy. And that's your defining event. It could be anything.
It could be anything. Defining relationship could be like your partner if you're a cop, or your wife or something. Like whatever you want.
I would say Robin has the defining relationship, right, where Batman made him a character.
Sure.
Even though he has defining events depending on which Robin, the family dying and such, but really it's the defining relationship I think that makes Robin.
We
I don't
could
think you
talk
can.
about that for a long time, so I'm not going to.
Here's why. I'm going to sum it up as short as I can. You, if you're a Robin, it's because Batman.
I don't know that I can argue that. So yeah, I guess I'll agree with you. I guess I'll.
Defining relationship.
Yeah, yeah, probably more than just the dead parents. You're not wrong.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, then there's the mission,
Routine, training.
personality, routine,
Yep.
yeah, all that good stuff.
And then
Um,
again, you could argue Batman is the defining event because his parents died, or you could argue that Batman is routine, or you could argue that Batman is training, or possessions because he's so rich. There's just a million different ways you can build any character that you want,
yeah.
custom Swiss Army
So
knife
from
into your
all of
pocket.
these themes, you're going to have a total of 4 of these picked. 3 and 1, 2 and 2. It doesn't matter. You're gonna do it. After that, you're going to choose the details of these themes. So you're going to go. So if you're like, what the heck is adaptation? Here's where you're going to like, I picked it. What does it mean? You're going to use the theme books to create each theme's tags. And so these tags, you're going to have like a few of them for each. So adaptation will have a few tags, like say, you know, we'll use the obvious adaptation, like Darwin from the X-Men. Being able to like environmental breath, like you can breathe in any environment. That's one of your tags. Skin changing, that could be part 2. Your skin can harden or soften, or you could turn to jelly, that kind of stuff. You're going to be adding tags, and whenever one of these tags is applicable to a situation, you get add a +1 related to it.
So I'm
Tags.
not even kidding. I scrolled down to see what else adaptation could be, and
Yeah.
they have it listed as manipulating elements, your forms and shapes. Even necromancy comes under adaptivity. Fairy magic. It can be all sorts of
It can be a
different
lot of
things.
things. Yeah, it is open for interpretation, for sure. Tags are short and specific descriptions, usually 1 to 3 words long. So they're not very long. Describing a discrete quality, ability, object, resource, ally, situation, or thing in the game. A tag question in the thing book can help you create tags. When you answer a tag question, your answer becomes your tag. You cannot answer the same tag question twice. Can you find one?
Tag questions. For example, if you answer the power tag question, what particular trait of your defense makes it useful? With the answer, it's bulletproof, then bulletproof becomes the power tag in that theme. Similarly, if you answer the weakness tag question, who or what is haunting you because of your defining event, with the answer, the big bad wolf, then the big bad wolf becomes a weakness tag in that theme.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's it, it. Really is just that simple. They do have questionnaires to help you, like, kind of hold your hand through this, because like I'm a pretty like traditional role player. I started with D&D, blah blah blah. Powered by the Apocalypse, kind of like it's relatively new, and like it threw me for a loop. But these kind of helped me like not be so daunted about the whole process, because it is simple at a certain level, but it's kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. But yeah,
There are simple mechanics,
yeah,
but it is a complex storytelling device.
very true. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Power tags. So Gary was kind of talking about that just now with his example. Power tags power your moves. They always describe something useful. Ask yourself, what actions would this power tag boost? Each theme starts with 3. You must answer the first power tag question in the theme book, then answer 2 more of your choice. You can have only one broad power tag. A broad power tag is one that would be useful in many different situations. So you can have one in each of these books that are pretty encompassing, and then the rest of them should be pretty specific, like calling your mom for a ride. That's pretty specific. And it's my favorite. I think it's my favorite example. Weakness tags, which Gary also hinted at. Weakness tags depower your moves, but earn you attention. They always describe something limiting. Ask yourself, what actions would this weakness tag impede? Each theme starts with one weakness tag. You can answer any weakness tag question you want to. Extra tags. In one theme of your choice, you may add one additional power tag and one additional weakness tag. So you may. So you can pick one of your 4 themes and make it both stronger and more detrimental at the same time, which is just good character development, honestly.
So do I have to pick weakness tags?
Yes.
Okay.
Every single theme will have one weakness tag.
And you pick the one from the theme. You don't have an option of different ones from the theme?
No. So each theme is going to have a series of weakness tag questions. You can pick.
Okay, yeah.
You can pick whichever one to answer.
I see that. So I scroll down to look at one, and I'm looking at the expression section right now. And so there are 4 weakness tag questions. And then there are almost 10 power tag questions. And you said we would answer the first one. You always answer the first one. And then you pick 2 more?
For the power tags, yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. That's very easy.
Yeah, very easy. You can make characters pretty quick in this, once you know what you're doing. Mysteries and identities is the last little part here. Mysteries and identities drive your character to take action. Every Mythos theme has a mystery, a question for which your character is seeking answers. And every Logos theme has an identity, a statement in which your character strongly believes. So, like, your character will, after your character creation, like, you don't really have to have that good of an idea. Your character will be forged through these choices, and you'll kind of have an idea.
If you don't have an idea going into this, you will really understand what you're working with by the end.
Yeah.
I know some people are kind of thrown into a character concept, especially people who are, hey, it's my first time playing D&D, can you make me a character? You almost always make them a barbarian or fighter, right? Because that way they can just go hit the thing, it's not too complicated. In this game, make your character with the sheet, and you'll know everything you need to know about your character with this kind of questionnaire.
Yeah, very much. Very much so. You'll know the basics. So now I'm in the actual proper character creation. Here are some examples of like theme cards. They have like you can buy these physically. I do believe they won. What's that? What are those awards?
The Ennies?
Yeah, I think that City of Mist won an Ennie for best like not supplement but best like accessory or something like that. And I think it was for these cards. I'm not sure.
Nice.
It was for
I would
something.
think it would be for the books.
Maybe.
For
I think it's for this though. So yeah, as you can see, like it's a character card. It has your player name. It has your mythos. It looks like this guy. His name is Lamar. His mythos is Don Quixote, which is dope. His logos is he's a reporter for the city, and he's a herald. Those are his 2 logos tags, I guess. And then crew, detective, and Kiddu and Goodfellow. Story tags: Old Myrna's Charm. And so like these cards make it pretty easy. I don't have any, unfortunately. I think Gary does though.
If we were playing Modern Age with this system, if we were playing that same story, the pistol, Robert's pistol, would be a story tag.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, Robert's pistol would be considered a relic, but also, I mean, it can fall under adaptation. It can fall under a lot of stuff.
It could really be anything. Yeah, I was just trying to think of a good story tag example.
Yeah, that's a good story tag example. Eater of Souls, the gun. Yeah. So these are the theme cards. It says type. So we were talking. This is a logos type, which is one of them is routine. Searching for the lost is their routine, I guess, because it's what they do. So there's type. A theme's type defines the nature chosen out of the 14 theme types. Title, descriptive name for the theme. Attention, a track for the theme's growth. When it's full, you reset it and choose an improvement. So each of these tags levels up. Like each of these themes levels up on its own, separate from each other.
Here's how to do it, if you invoke tags that directly impede your roll, and you take -1s for those, when you do that, you mark them.
Yes.
And when they level up, then they level up. So that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what weaknesses are for. Uh, if you invoke your weakness, it encourages you to roleplay because I don't necessarily, as a storyteller, want to be like, oh, what's your weakness tags? But I might, I might help you with that, especially at first. But it's to get you to be like, oh, hey, I'm scared of the big bad wolf. I get -1 in this roll. Okay, then you gain an attention, and so this theme
And then
card
how
will
much
level up.
attention allows you to level up a theme?
It looks like 3,
Okay.
which is not that many. And then there's
That's not.
crack, fade or crack. The track of for the theme's deterioration. When it's full, you replace the theme. We haven't gotten into how that happens, but yeah, these cards can also go away as your character changes, which is very interesting. I believe when we played,
So
I burnt one of my cards completely to do something cool.
if there is a purpose to a role playing game, besides just telling a story and having fun with your friends, the purpose of City of Mist is to stay in balance with your mythos and logos.
Mm.
And what I mean is, if you, like Jahan said, he ended up burning a card. You can do like a big, super strong, awesome mythos god ability. And when you do that and you burn that card, you have to replace it with a logos card. So at that point, you are now 3 logos, 1 mythos. So if you burn your other mythos card and you become 4 logos, which is not a new drink,
Could be though.
I pause for laughter.
I'm laughing on the
So,
inside, buddy.
thanks, man. So 4 logos, you're too normal. You go back to being a normal guy. You just go back to being
Yeah, you
normal,
kind of die
everyday, regular toy
effectively.
maker.
Yeah, you're just
You're
out of
not
there.
Yeah, you're not the Santa Claus toy maker anymore. And the same thing on the opposite side of the mythos. If you go doing too much Santa Claus business and you get rid of all your logos and now you're stuck with 4 Santa Claus mythos, well, then you might just teleport to the North Pole and never come back except for once a year on Christmas. That's the balance of the game, is being able to lose and burn and replace these different tags and skills. It keeps your character evolving without necessarily leveling.
Yeah, you do. It kind of keeps you at a relative power level, and but you still change, which is cool.
Mhm.
I like it a lot. You have mystery or identity, a question or statement that drives your character for each theme. Power tags, which we already talked about, and then weakness tags. There are 7 slots for powers and 3 slots for weakness tags, which they can go up and down. Stuff happens. There is some leveling going on, for sure. And then theme card back. Here's where you put your improvements, which we talked about. A list of theme-specific improvements. And then flip side. A speculation about what would happen if you replaced the theme with a theme from the other side of Mythos Logos, which is what Gary was talking about. So on this flip side, if Sullivan loses his job as a reporter, he will gain a mobility theme and become a vagabond. Interesting. The only thing keeping him in place is his job. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so, you're going to be taking your character. We already talked about character concept, logos. I'm not going to get back into those because you kind of understand. You can read more about them for yourself. Choosing themes is also important. Where should we pick up again? 'Cause the theme books are big, man.
164. This is where we're looking at the moves of the game, the rules, the tag invocations,
Meat and potatoes time.
This is it, right? This is how the system works, now that you figured out how the characters work.
Excellent choice, my friend. Oh, this is a good, yeah, you found another good page. All right, cool. You start off.
Not a problem. Jahan already talked a little bit earlier about making moves. I'm going to go over the moves again because these are the core moves of the game. Like, what do you do
Honestly,
when it comes to your turn?
I talked about them. I don't understand them either.
So yeah, this is exact. So great, we need this.
Yeah.
In this game, you don't say on my turn I'm going to attack because there is no melee basic attack. The core moves are as follows. Change the game. It gives you or your allies an advantage, and that means that you generate juice, Jahan. And put a little asterisk on juice. I don't know completely what it means yet.
Me neither.
So, but it is in bold, and I've read that elsewhere that you can use juice. So there you go. Changing the game gives you juice. Next, you can convince. You can talk, threaten, or seduce someone into doing something. So that's a core move to convince. If you want to stop the fight on your turn, there it is. Face danger to avoid a hit, endure harm, or resist an influence. If you know it's coming, if you know you're about to get hit, if you're the guy, you may want to face danger and step forward. Go toe to toe is the next action. That's how you overcome someone or for struggle or control. So this is almost, if you will, the melee basic attack, unless you really want to hit somebody. If you really want to hit somebody and you want to put a status effect on them, hit it with all you've got. You take a clear shot with all your power and you give a status and possibly take one. Next is investigate. You seek answers to burning questions to gain information, and you generate clues. Clues is also there in bold. We're going to talk about clues at the top of the next page. So investigating is how you generate clues. You'll spend those clues on your game master to get answers to things.
Yeah, spend all your clues on me.
Ah, the clues. Sneak around. You do something discreet or deceptively. I'm almost surprised that's not under change the game, but it's not, and there is sneak if you're looking for it. And finally, the last of the core moves is take the risk, and you perform a feat of daring. So I guess this is the catch-all of I want to do something real big.
Yeah. I think when you take the risk, you risk your tags or something. I think it's pretty big. I think that's what I did when I tried to. I think I was trying to merge two versions of reality into one. I think that's what I was trying to do, which is pretty big. So
it happens, yeah. Next is determining power. This is as easy as I told you earlier. You invoke the tags that help your action, and you gain a +1 for each thing. You can also, for each tag, you can invoke the tags that impede your actions. For each weakness tag, you mark one attention on that tag's theme.
You also lose one power.
Yeah, you also lose one power. So you can kind of, balance it out there if you want to, if you think you stand a chance. Then you add the tier of your highest helpful status to your power. So if you have a bunch of statuses on, you don't add them all. You just add the biggest one. That should keep the die within a relatively normal size. You subtract the tier of your lowest impeding status from your power. So you balance those two. If you're bleeding, condition 2, make sure to subtract your 2, all that kind of fun stuff. This game doesn't have health. I think it has statuses. And that, again, is something we'll get into on the next page. Tag invocation rules. Final call. The MC has final call on which tags are relevant and which tags can be invoked. That's a good rule right there, girl.
It is a good rule.
No tag cap. So this is actually a thing that's only City of Mist. A lot of PBTA games have tag caps. That's kind of like their whole thing. City of Mist doesn't. You can invoke any number of relevant tags from your character's theme, crew themes, or story tags. Reusable. Tags can be evoked again in subsequent actions, except for repeating moves or linked moves. So you cannot repeat the same action using the same tags until the conditions have changed. So if something happens, somebody breaks the door down or hacks into the computer, you might be able to try to turn off the power again because the computer got hacked. Linked moves. If your move is related to your previous move, you cannot use the same tags again. This is what I was talking about, like using your shotgun on your attack round and your defense round. It's the same thing. You can't do the same thing again. It's completely linked. You can't repeat the action.
Yeah.
Power of 0. If your action does not require special abilities or resources, you can take it without invoking any tags.
By turning off the lights.
Okay,
You
is
just
that what
flip.
that
You
is?
just flip the switch. You don't have
Oh,
to. You don't have to be like, I am a master of Shaolin combat. I use that to turn off the light. Like you, if it's
yeah,
something easy, if you want to pull out a chair, yeah, it can
I
be.
see.
Yeah.
Minimum 1. If a move grants a benefit based on power, you always get 1 point of benefit, even if your power is 0 or less. That's a good note. And finally, using your weakness. The MC or a PC that is the target of your move can also invoke your weakness tags. Ooh. Move outcomes. You miss on a 6 or less, and the MC makes an MC move against you or your crew. And I think in this game, you don't have to roll against us. I think we roll against you. I don't think you have to roll. On a hit of a
Yeah.
score of 7 or more, a 7 to 9 is a weak hit, granting benefits with complications. A 10 plus is a strong hit, granting mostly benefits, it says. And finally, if your move is dynamite with an exclamation point, plus 12 is an extraordinary hit, granting special benefits. Helping and interfering. If you want to help somebody, you can spend juice, and you can get juice by taking the change the games thing. So there you go. That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, that's good because that means that if you're like, I want to help, you have to have done something that's helpful.
Well, yeah, before the player rolls the dice, you have to spend your juice. You have to have already gotten your
You have to
juice.
have already set it up, yeah.
Yep, you have to say, hey, when you're doing this, I'm helping you. You can't wait for them to fail. You're going to be like, wait, 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 I'm going to give you the juice, baby. Next is burning tags. And this one I think is kind of a special thing. A burnt tag cannot be invoked. Burnt tags can be recovered with the montage move. Burning for a hit. You can voluntarily burn a tag when you make a move. You gain a power of 3 instead of rolling the dice, and treat the die as if you rolled a 7. That gives you a 10, and no other tags can be invoked in the roll, but statuses apply. So you can roll over a 10, it's just kind of tough. It can be done. Other tags. There are story tags, which I was saying, like Robert's gun. You can make story tags temporary, you can make them ongoing, or you can make them permanent. I would say that Robert's gun started as something temporary, is certainly ongoing, and seems to be headed towards permanent.
Probably, yeah.
Power. Yeah, he started taking some gun skills. Power tags in crew and extra themes are crispy. They burn once you invoke them and cannot be burnt for a hit. Man, that means they're crispy. Did you know that? You can recover crew power tags during the geek out during the credits move. That is geek out during the credits move. You can recover extra power tags with the montage move.
Yeah, all this stuff is like movie themed. It's pretty cool. I like the way the book's written out, like scenes and television seasons and whatnot.
Yeah. We get into statuses here, and statuses is health. This is what I was talking about. You can hold the 4 statuses. The 5th one puts you out, and the 6th status kills you or permanently transforms you. That's up to the MC. So as you take these damages, as you get these statuses added on, you want to keep a track of them. Once it gets to 3 or 4, you're in real big trouble at 4. You can give statuses, and you explain to the game master what you're doing because these moves are so open. If you are a sword person or a fire person, you might add bleed, you might add burn. This is up to you and the game master at the time. Most statuses are ongoing, last until they narratively expire or